Usher off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
Usher and Diddy, two of your favorite performers, have a history that will irritate you. Consider this: Diddy used to take Usher, then 14, to crazy parties. You heard that correctly, 14. Usher entrusted Sean Combs, then known as Puff Daddy, as a mentor when he was initially signed to Left Face Records as a young teen. Usher traveled to New York at the age of 14 to work with Combs, popularly known as Diddy, but it wasn't all work. Diddy allegedly allowed Usher to attend his expensive parties in order to give the singer more edge. Some strange things are said to have occurred. So, what really happened in the early 1990s between these two incredible acts? Let us investigate more. We've all heard the tales about what happened in Sean Diddy Combs' family while Usher Raymond was his adolescent disciple, but weren't those simply rumors? That's incorrect. We never heard anything from the two superstars who spent so much time together back in the day. That is, until around the year 2012. In a live video stream a few years back, Diddy messed up and admitted he and Usher had slept together but swiftly sought to cover up his slip-up with a Boondocks phrase. Pause, and no homo. Diddy needed a second chance. The bad boy boss humorously attempted to rebound from his pause with an even worse statement about wrestling while Usher stood by his side looking humiliated. You know what? I'm saying this is my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes, he added, because he used to always get up earlier than me, and now he's one of the richest stars in the world, and I love him. Usher was groomed to be an R&B superstar from a young age. In a 2016 interview, he informed Howard Stern that living with Puff Daddy for a year at the age of 14 taught him what it meant to be famous. During his first Stern Show interview, Usher said, "I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it." Usher's one-of-a-kind education, called Puffy Flavor Camp, began when he was a teenager and dazzled music entrepreneur Ella Reid with his musical ability. He was then transported to New York to live with Puffy during the peak of Bad Boy Records to learn what it was like to truly make it big in music. It was pretty wild. It was crazy. Usher claimed this while naming some of hip-hop's biggest personalities who were always present at Puffy's house, including Notorious Big, Lil' Kim, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, and Craig Mack. The vocalist added, "I was like the little brother, they called me Baby Boo." But Howard was curious if he had any rules while living with Puffy. After all, he was only a child. He told Howard, "He wasn't disciplinary. He was letting me be a young man. He had a tutor even though he wasn't in school. He also had a per diem. However, Usher claimed he was only given enough money to keep him out of trouble." Puff Daddy served as Usher's producer when it came time to release his debut album. Nevertheless, because the debut didn't go as well as predicted commercially, Puffy declined to appear on Usher's second album, My Way, which went 6 times platinum in the late 1990s. "He was always a family member from afar, so I never felt a disconnection," Usher said of Diddy when asked if there was any bad blood between the two. "I will always look at him like a brother." But the acclaimed R&B singer avoided disclosing some potentially damaging information about his stay in Diddy's residence. Diddy inadvertently disclosed that he and Usher used to wake up together. With numerous speculations about Diddy's sexual orientation, netizens are convinced the coming home hitmaker assaulted Usher. This accusation was supported by claims that engulfed the music executive a while ago. Diddy Combs has been the subject of some extremely severe, powerful molestation charges, as a document on the Smoking Gun website indicated that the United States federal government was investigating him for allegedly having sex with teenage boys in the past, and Usher could be one of his victims. The topic came up during a question of indicted music manager and cocaine kingpin James Rosemond. This wasn't some minor cannabis transaction. Rosemond sold significant amounts of the lethal narcotic cocaine in America and used some of the money to fund his music enterprise. Rosemond collaborated with Diddy on several occasions. Rosemond was questioned by federal authorities regarding Diddy's sexual contacts with young boys. The link was then established that while Diddy was in his late 20s, he and a 15-year-old Usher used to sleep in the same bed at night. Usher also revealed that when he was 15, he and Diddy would go to sexual orgies, which is illegal in the United States and most other countries with laws governing minors. Rosemond, who is facing life in jail for drug trafficking and suspicions that he was involved in homicides according to earlier statements he made, refused to answer the government's queries about Diddy. Diddy has also been accused publicly of coercing Christopher Williams, a 1990s R&B singer and actor, into performing oral sex on him for a music production agreement that eventually fell through. Williams was signed to the late Andre Harrell's Uptown Records, where Diddy worked before establishing his own label, Bad Boy. According to a former employee of the music producer, she walked in on Christopher Williams and Diddy in his office during the sex act and outraged him. Williams, who was dating Stacey Dash, lost his love when a muscled-up Madonna began pursuing him in the business. Madonna drew Williams into orgies where he had intercourse with 5 women at once, which was mentally, spiritually, and emotionally damaging. All of the guys Madonna pursued in the industry and who became involved in her ugliness and crazy ended up mentally and emotionally wounded in every manner, unable to function after being exposed to her insanity, filth, and old-world occult debauchery. Diddy, for his part, engaged in Hollywood cult behavior such as sex with kids and occult pacts to become rich and famous. Since then, his circle has been plagued by nothing but death, destruction, and catastrophe. Following a few years in Diddy's mansion after the release of their debut album, the two parted ways, with Diddy declining to continue mentoring the yet hitmaker. But I'm not saying Puff was wrong. That first album wasn't my most successful, but it launched the career I've enjoyed for 18 years since. It's helped me understand the importance of having a mentor when I'm working with Justin. You have to make music relevant for now. Ella Reid, CEO of Left Face Records, stated that Diddy persuaded him to keep the young Usher on the label when he was considering removing the star. He revealed, "I wanted to drop him. I wanted to be out of business with him. I broke his heart. I broke his mother's heart. It was a very tough period in both our lives." He added, "Then someone said to me, 'Don't be a fool. Don't sell your stock in Usher. He's still going to be a star. He's everything you thought he was the day you signed him." And that person was Diddy. Michael Jackson was another influential factor in Usher's artistic development. Usher claimed that playing Gone Too Soon by Larry Grossman and Buzz Cohan at the King of Pop's memorial service following his untimely death in 2009 was one of the most conflicting moments of his life. He said, "That was the hardest yet most gratifying moment of my career." The song summed up what people were feeling as nobody believed Michael had passed. He was such an iconic figure, icons like him live forever. Usher became the third artist in history to have 3 singles on the Hot 100 at the same time with his 4th album, Confessions. The album was a watershed moment in Usher's career, selling 1.1 million copies in the United States in its first week and garnering Usher the Grammy Award for Best Contemporary R&B Album. Confessions was the second best-selling album in the United States during the 2000 decade. The RIA awarded it a diamond certification, and it went on to sell 20 million copies worldwide. Usher is known as the Prince of R&B because of his over 50 performances on the Billboard Hot 100. Diddy recently started a dispute that left Usher perplexed. In a recent Instagram Live, Diddy said R&B is dead. This generated a heated argument. Usher laughed at the suggestion that the genre was anything but alive and flourishing during an appearance with SiriusXM's show.
When I hear people say stuff like, what happened to R&B or R&B is dead, it's not. You just don't understand the basis of it. As a matter of fact, maybe I need a reminder and understanding of what it is. How can something come out 20 some odd years ago and then all of a sudden have a resurgence in a way that people just want to talk about it, sing it, enjoy it? It's because it's classic. That's superstar. That's R&B. That's what R&B is.
Yeah,
R&B is timeless. It ain't gonna go away.
When I do hear people, even like Puff, saying, R&B is dead, he sounds nuts to me. He said, it sounds crazy. Especially knowing he was a pioneer in understanding and beneficiary of it. He continued, the source that is R&B created the breath of life that was breathed into hip-hop. It wouldn't be, there would be no hip-hop if there were not R&B, so it's blasphemous to hear people say anything, especially hip-hop cats, to say anything about R&B. So, did the two's heinous past finally catch up with them? Your guess is just as valid as mine. That's all for now. Till next time, bye.